Hello, Mario! In this video I'm going to be using some survey software to record this particular survey diagram that I've got here. It is available on my website www.maurieo.com, which is available in the details of this particular video. Just a quick overview of the situation. We have three old marks here, and we have traversed round through here and down back to our initial one. So we're going to get a coordinate of old iron tube 5 and close this traverse round here. We've found an old peg here and here on an old boundary line, 83 degrees 2350, 208.9 total length. And what we want to do is to create a 100 meter by 100 meter lot, approximately 55 meters from the old peg, and it will intersect onto that existing boundary there. We have through here some adoptions. These marks are no longer intervisible, or no longer are we able to find them, so we're also just going to prove the reliability of this old peg through here that we've tied onto here. This pegging tie through here is the original pegging tie, and we've found old peg X here. So just to get an overview of lot 1, and then we will also calculate the area of lot 1. So that's what we're going to do, and we'll now open up. Okay, so here's our software that we're going to be using all set up here. So the first thing that we do is just, we set the projection that we're going to use, and in this case here we're going to put it into the Bay of Plenty 2000 circuit right here. So that sets our projection, and we're happy with that. And now we're going to be working with a traverse sheet, so survey traverse spreadsheet, and we'll just create a new one, Bay of Plenty circuit there. Always pays to give it a network name here, it's also very helpful later on. So we'll call this Ricky Road, and the file name also Ricky Road, and create. So there's our traverse sheet. Now the plan that I've got there doesn't particularly show a starting coordinate, so we're just going to make one up just for our first traverse block. So our start point we will call point 1 here, and I'll give it a northing 308,563.42. sorry, 808,562.42. remembering our northings 800,000 and 405,986.23, and that will be our coordinate that I've made up for old iron tube 5. In this instance here I'm not worrying about plan names and things. You can put your plan names in if you wish. So that would be point 1, which would be old iron tube 5. So now we go in to put in our traverse point here, which will be our next point, which will be point 2. So that's going to be 11.5640. We're putting it in there, 186.56, and this is a traverse line. What that does is just determine the type of line that it will produce, and that's to old iron tube 6. Okay, and then this is all just off the plan, 92.5630, 3630, 163.47. we just put our traverse in, TR, we're traversing there, and that will give us old iron tube 7 in there, like so. And then we'll have 0.4 round to here, which is iron spike 3, so we'll go 175.3610 3610 for 78.96, and that's again a Travis. This is a new mark that we're putting in here, iron spike 3, like so, and continuing on 175.3610. we're noting that these iron spike is online there, and 68.47, and again our Travis there, which brings us to iron tube 2, and then we're going to go back. Well, we're going to go to iron spike 1 here at this point here, so that'll be 262.4450 and 86.60. again traversing, and again another mark that we've lined in, which is iron spike 1 in this case. And then we're going to close back onto 0.1, and you'll see there it actually calculates the closing there, 262.4440, so it's about 10 seconds out there in forbearing, 262.4450, because we've actually measured it as that and from our field notes, and 128.29, which is what we've got there. I'll key that in just to that Travis, and that's back to old iron tube 5. And then if we calculate that out, we can close our Travis. Now that's a pretty good close there, 6mm and 1mm, more than acceptable. A 1 in 109,000 there, that's a very acceptable close. So usually calc, adjust, or save. Now you can see there's nothing printed in here. That's because the model that the first block goes in is not showing here in the picture. So Ricky Road TSS is our model from this, and just bring that down to a bit of size there. Now I find it helps to label things, so it's nice to know what the string names are. So this little thing here just turns on the text up here in this little blue texty blue sort of thingy there. Not quite sure how to describe it. So we turn on the string names, and there's all our string names turned on. And it's sometimes nice to know the numbers, the vertices numbers. So there we go, so we can see that we get that correlation like so. So there you are, that's the first. Now we've also, so when we want to add a block, we just go up into here and add another block, and we're going to add another block from iron spike 1, which is just 0.6 here, iron spike 1 to iron spike 4, so that would be 1 degree 0050 for 72.85. again that's a Travis, and that's going to be iron spike 4. Okay, and then we're going back to 0.4, so we can just, there's a number of ways to put the there in, and 85.2450 and 79.62. enter, and calculate there, and there, oh, another very good close, 0203. So our traversing work is superlative. Calc, adjust, or save. Now the other thing is what we've done here. What I tend to do is I like to say that my work is superior to anyone else's, so I hold my work. So how I do that is, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put in some radiations to the old marks, which I am going to hold. So I put in a new block. Now these are not Travis blocks because they don't close. They are what we call radiation blocks. So I'm going to first of all do a radiation from iron tube 2, which is the number 5, iron tube 2, and I'm going to go to the old peg. So that will be 71 degrees 55 for 62.48. You do need to be extra careful putting in these radiations because there's no real check of them, in the sense that they're not really included or incorporated into a closed Travis. So there are checks on them, but you do need to be careful. So that's going to be old peg there, and that's the only one at this point from there. So I'm going to calc, adjust all, save, and that gives us there. And we'll just move around, just give ourselves a bit more room, and then I'm going to do another block from point 1 and put in the old peg from there. Hold on, tube 5, and that will be 0.9, and that is 335.07, sorry, 0.27. Okay, and that's for 15.63 meters. Again, it's a Travis, and that I've called that old peg X. Quite important that we have different names for the different pegs so that they are uniquely named. Adjust all, save. So that's old peg X. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is to check I know old peg X is okay because that's an old tie that we've reproduced, but I'm going to now check some adopted work, and that'll be a new block, but this will be a Traverse block because we're going to close. So I'm going to start at 1 here, old iron tube 5, and I'm going to go to old iron tube 4, 92.2910 from our plan, and 289.50, and that's adopted. I'm sure that's adopted from an old plan. I'm not using references on this job, and that would be old iron tube 4, like so, in there. And then we're just going to, this is going to check the reliability, so we're going to go to 8 there, and we've got 344.1420 and 61.39, and again that's adopted to the old peg, and calculate, and yes, we've got a close there of 0001, so that's definitely proves the reliability of that old peg there, so we're quite happy with that. Calc, adjust all, and save. Now what I'm going to do is, as I said, we wanted to put the first peg 55 meters from the old peg, and then 100 meter for our lot, and then obviously, so we're going to come down there and check onto that boundary, or these measurements are going to be made. Remember, we've got the total distance there of 208.90, so that will, we're going to close that one out, so that will be a Traverse. We're going to start at 8 there, and we're going to go to our new point, which is peg 2, and that's going to be 263 degrees 2350. We're going to go 55. Now this is a boundary, or I just show it as a calculation in this case, but it's a road boundary. There's the ability to show it as that, but this will just give it a different line type, which is pretty fine by me. Peg 2. We can use the finer details of this. It may be helpful in some softwares, particularly if you're going to be loading it into Land Online or something. So there are there's the options there, and I think this one, boundary road, is perhaps what it should be technically. So enter. Okay, and then we go another 263.2350, 2350, and then we're going to go for 100 meters, and that's a road boundary as well, and that'll give us peg 1. And then we're going to close onto old peg X, which has the value 9. I put 9 in there. Oops, 9, not 9 plus. There we go, and that's 263.2350 and 125.9090 is what we've got, and again that's a road boundary, and that's to old peg X. Now that's got a little bit of error in there, 0102, but that's more than acceptable. Generally, I mean, there are sort of rules and things on this, but generally anything less than 0.03 is fine. There's no need to really worry about that. So we're going to lock that in there and those positions in there, but be aware that that little 02 will produce could cause some problems in the sense that it would introduce the 100 meters that we've got in there now might be calculated something quite different, but yeah, slightly different. So we've just got to always be aware of that sort of thing. So the next thing I want to do is to just calculate in some boundaries around here. It's to be 100 meters by 100 meters, so we'll be setting out at right angles. So let's put in a new Travis block, and we'll start at peg 1, which is position 12, peg 1, and we're going to go to peg 3. Now if that's 83, well that's 263 plus 90 is going to be 353.2350. It's pretty easy to add on 90 degrees, and that'll be 100, and that'll be a new boundary there. So boundary new, and we'll go that to peg 3. Okay, and then we're going to go another 90 degrees, 83.2350, and that's 100, boundary new, and that'll be peg 4. Okay, and then from peg 4 we're going to go back to peg 2, which is position 11, and that should be 173.2350 for 100, boundary new, enter, and calculate that, and that gives a very good close, almost perfect. And so there you are, we've got our boundaries in. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we just need to, so we've got our, everything's adjusted, we just need to calculate our pegging ties to the various pegs that we will put those pegs in. We'll go back out onto the job and set up. So they are done in radiation block. So the start point for the first one would be 6 iron spike 1, which will take us to peg 1, which is 12, and there it is there. Travis peg 1, calc, adjust all, save, and then we'll go to another block, which will be, we'll put in peg 2, which will be from 0.5, and that's to 11, peg 2, and that's 20 degrees, 13.91. Okay, calc, adjust all, save. Probably not necessary to do that every time, but I do anyway. So that's exactly 20 degrees, that one, and then we'll do peg 3, which is going to be from 0.7 on spike 4, that's to 13 33110 TR. Okay, calc, adjust all, save, and finally peg 4, and that would be that will be from iron spike 3 to 14 peg 4, calc, adjust all, save. So that's pretty much our Travis sheet for that very small job. One last thing we can do, we may want to do, is to work out the area of the lot 1. So we do that again, we do a new block, but this time we just call it a parcel block. You can give it the name lot 1. Up the top there's various parcel settings. You could call it a new created block and what have you, but I'm just doing this purely calculation. So we'll start at peg 1 and we'll go 12, and it'll actually, if you get it in order, 13, 14, and then it obviously it goes to 11 there. Okay, and back to 1, enter, and you calc. Oh, sorry, not 1. Oh, we're in a bit of trouble here. Let's delete that out of there. That should be actually 12. Alright, so they're all coming out pretty good, and we can calc that all out, and there you are. It gives us our area, gives a coordinate area in which we can get various reports and that. So calc, adjust all, save. Perhaps at this point I should mention that in the Travis sheet here there is the parameters section, and that gives us some control, but perhaps the most important thing we need to have a look at here is, first of all, the number of decimals in the coordinates and what have you, number of decimals that we're dealing with. We want to perhaps report the ellipsoid area there as well, round down areas, little bits and pieces there, and lines up to 50 meters to the nearest minute, and anything from 50 to 200 to 500 to the nearest 10 seconds, and from 500 to 5,000 to the nearest 5, and anything after that to the nearest sort of second. So they're all they're the rounding of your inverses and things, so that you can put that in there, yeah, marks, all sorts of little bits and pieces there to do with the Travis sheet. So we'll just write finish, and I'll just there, and calc, adjust all, save. Okay, and it's it there now. Alright, now once we've got our Travis sheet almost complete, you'll note after that little change that we did there, we're now reporting the ellipsoid area, which comes out exactly at 10,000 square meters, or as we all know, one hectare. And now we have our Travis sheet, and it's usual that we want to get a Travis sheet report. So that's and also a lot close, which are bits of information that we like to submit with our plans. So we can now go up here to survey, Travis sheet, and just go to the New Zealand report here, and it comes up with this little box thing here to fill out. So the input file that we will be looking for is, I think I've called this one Ricky Road from memory. It's a Travis sheet. Do we want to report the parcels? Not at this point. The point numbers might be handy for this type of thing, and we'll just traverses of Ricky Road. Our circuit, well, we can sometimes helpful to put this in. Bay of Plenty, projection, geodetic 2000 is our false origin, Fieldbook Land District, South Auckland, for Bay of Plenty, and the report file, well, we'll just call it Ricky Road 1, and I think that's all, and we just push report file created. Now while we're there, we might do one where we just report the parcels as well, and we'll call that one Ricky Road PAR for parcels report. Okay, I think we can finish there, and we can just have a look here, and if we go up to report here and edit, we'll see that we've got a couple of ones there. We'll report here. Here's our Traverse sheet here, as I said, with all our blocks, our RF scales and that type of thing there. So that's handy. We can use this data and put it into a formal Traverse sheet and format it all up, but in the initial stages, that's just fine like that. And then we can also have a look at our other report edit, which is, here's our parcel report here, showing the lot 1 and an area. So there you are. There's a quick rundown on how to produce a Traverse sheet for a fairly simple survey, and also calculate the lot closure and the lot area.